Alrighty, we are back. Had a little bit of a break because my internet was shit, and to upload a video I'd have to wait till everybody went to sleep and then upload the video. But now I've got fibre optic cable, so faster internet, 10 minutes to upload a 10-minute video. Anyway, what I've been doing is I got the Cresta tuned. I'll show you that in a minute. This is mainly about fuel filters and fuel pressure sensors, okay? This was the fuel filter that I had. I didn't know anything about fuel filters to start with, especially for E85. And I also didn't read the description properly. So I had one of these in the Cresta, which I'll show you in a minute. And I also had one in the blue WRX over there. So what it has inside, oh, don't get that. This is a magnet. The reason I don't want to get it on my bench is because it's covered in metal and you'll never get it off. This is the filter element, okay? This tiny little filter was having to try and flow all the fuel that my engine required. So I've just put the Cresta on E85 and had it tuned. I think it made 440 horsepower, but I didn't have valve springs and we were getting valve float, and it was running out of fuel pressure up the top. And it was because of this tiny little fuel filter, which is understandable. If you try and blow through this thing, you hardly can. In fact, is that no? Anyway, so it's real hard to, I've cleaned this now, but yeah, it was real hard to get, it was very restrictive, all right? So that's that. I'll show you what I replaced it with. Then the other thing is this. So some of these, this was $100, this sensor. Now, I reckon that this is a $30 sensor that they sold for $100. It lasted about 5 years. And then all of a sudden it was reading 1,000 PSI. So my car wouldn't run because everything's based off fuel pressure. All right, so this sensor is from EFI Solutions. There's the part number there, 133007. That's its serial number. So this lasted 5 years or about a month with ethanol. It's supposed to be ethanol safe, but who knows? It stopped working. So on the WRX, I had the same sensor. I was able to unplug it and test the Cresta to see that it was the sensor. So it's gone back down in there, right down there. And this car's not going to be on E85. I'm going to get it tuned on modeled fuel, but just petrol to start with. And as you can see here, I used one of these fuel filters on here and I need to replace it. To give you an idea, that's a $30 fuel filter. The one I got is here's the Cresta, let me get the light in there. You probably can't see. There it is there. Let me get the big finger in. That's what she said. All right, there, where it says out. So that's a Turbo Smart. It's a big fat, it's like, you know, a big fat filter. And the, oh, there we go, extreme close up. You kids won't know what that's from. Wayne's World. Yeah, so this one is a Siltec sensor. Uses a different connector. The This was 150 Australian dollars. So that other one, in comparison, should have been probably about 30 bucks. This is a $150 sensor, one of the best value, good quality sensors you can get, compared to a Havnt, which is 300 Australian dollars. I mean, in America, we're talking cents for you guys, but for us, everything's super expensive. So $156. I reckon these Siltech sensors are about the best value for money, especially when a Havnt one is twice the price. So that's that. So the thing is now drive-by-wire. I did have some issues. No, not really issues. Yeah, well, they were issues. The car was stalling when I was coming to a stop, but it was mainly the way the gentleman who tuned my car tuned it. So let me reorganize my lighting and my zoom. So the I've got a G4 Plus Link ECU, and the newer version is a G4X. The way that you do the base target table and the E-throttle target table are opposite for G4 Plus and G4X. So what had happened is the gentleman who tuned my car tuned it in the style of G4X, but I have a G4 Plus ECU, and all it took was to add a little anti-stall gain. So my anti-stall gain was set to 0. I've now got it at 1.6 up to about 70 degrees, and then from 80 to 100 degrees it's at 1.8%. An anti-stall gain is just like an extra gain. So the way the manual explains it is, if the RPM drops greater than 150 RPM less than the target, idle anti-stall will kick in and it'll kick the RPM back up. So that essentially fixed it, and the car runs awesome. Yeah, that's about it with that. I had to change the fuel filter. I put in valve springs, so I did the same method as when I did the valve stem seals and originally fit the cams. I stuffed some rope, bungee cord in fact, down inside the cylinder. If you're wondering on how to do that, look on the channel for a video called valve stem seals rope method, I think it's called, and then I've got everything written down in there. But yeah, that's basically it. Oh, that's right. So the gentleman who tuned the car thought it was a throttle body. I had a $50 Mitsubishi throttle body. I ended up buying, there was nothing wrong with it actually in the end. I ended up buying a brand new throttle body. That didn't stop it from stalling. So when we tuned it, I had a couple of issues with the wiring. And so it took us a couple of hours to get it working properly. And then he didn't run out of time to tune it, but it was starting to get late. So, but yeah, now it's all sorted. It's awesome. It goes really hard. Oh yeah, that's right. So this thing, if any of you guys have been watching for a while, you may know that I've been collecting bits to build a diff. This is it here. So this is, what can I do with this? Tell you what, let's get rid of that. This is an open diff that I had. I bought 4.3 gears, and initially I tried buying a Cusco center. That never arrived, so I got a refund. That was on eBay. Watch out for people who say they have stuff in stock and they don't. So then I bought this one from Japan, but turns out it was in fact a open center in a TRD box. Luckily, I only paid $60 for that. So I just bought a brand new TRD two-way. I had it set up. Little bit disappointed. He quoted me $450 to do the job. And then when they rang me to tell me it was done, they said it was going to be $1,280. Yeah, that's like 3 times what he quoted me, which is a bit ridiculous. So he knew I was paying cash, so he let me did it for $1,100. Still more than twice what he quoted me. Who knows? I mean, the most expensive place I found the bearings, etc., was $300. Whatever. It's done now. I'm glad I had the money to be able to do it. So, guess we can't complain too much. There are people out there that are starving that can't afford to put a two-way in their Cresta. Anyway, yeah, that's about it really. Just got to get the fuel filter for this and some headers, and then I'll probably get that tuned, but it won't be for a little while. I'm going to enjoy driving this. Oh, that's right, yes. I also got my coilover fixed. So I'd had a clunk in this. I shouldn't do this at night time, should I? Or be more prepared. Okay. DG5 coilovers. I had a clunk. I thought it was this top spherical bearing. After about 6 months, they were brand new. Replaced the bearing, still had the clunk. Drove it around for about 18 months. And then I realized it was the actual shock itself. So essentially, and you wouldn't think it because they're brand new, very expensive coilovers, and sure enough, the shock itself had a clunk in it. So I sent it off to a very helpful suspension shop here in Australia. They fixed it for me. Then what happened is when it came back, see this little adjuster here underneath, actually I can show you. So here it is. So when it came back, this little guy, oh, is it stuck on there now? Hang on. Oh yeah. This little guy came back in 2 pieces. So this thing had snapped just there, and that sits on there, and that's your adjuster. So there's actually a little split pin goes in there, and you can see that's where it's split. So thankfully, what are they called? HSD. HSD use a very, 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 very similar adjuster. And so I ordered one of those. Cost me $25. And the only difference was that this top piece was slightly smaller. So what I did was I 3D printed a collar, and then the black adjuster there now slips on using like a little plastic collar that goes around there. So that was fixed. So now, touch wood or concrete. There's some wood. It should be fixed and ready to drive. I'm going to put that diff in. Got some strong flex bushes to go in the front. Just here. And I've got to find the original JZX bolts too, because that's a 4.3 torsion out of a 8.6, and it's got the 8.6 front bolts, which I ordered from Toyota. Oh, actually, no, here's something else I've done. I've done heaps of stuff since I last uploaded a video. All right, let's have a look at this. Did I mention they only take 10 minutes to upload now? All right, there's my Project Mu front brakes. Had them on there for a while. I've now got matching valve caps, but I got the rear rotors to match. So, yeah, looks quite good. All matching. Front, rear. Handbrake still doesn't work, or it only locks up on one side. I've tried everything, and it's got Project Mu pads in it. So I'm just going back to some cheap regular handbrake shoes, because the Project Mu ones have never worked ever, and they were like $300 or something. So anyway, if you found that interesting, leave us a like. If you have any questions about these pieces of shit, leave them below. And thanks for watching. Oh yeah, click subscribe if you want to see what happens with the blue car, or you want to learn anything else about buying the wrong parts. See you later.